that we are moving into is related to what's in India Maritime deal with Sri Lanka. Okay, Maritime Rescue Coordination Center in Colombo. The agreement enhances cooperation on maritime security in part of Indian Ocean region, where India-China cavalry have taken center stage over the last decade. Earlier this month, India has also provided naval floating deck to Sri Lankan Navy and 2 Dornier aircraft to Sri Lankan Air Force, enhancing capacity. MRCC are part of international network under UN's International Maritime Organization that monitors sea lanes with the objective of swift response to emergencies such as vehicle in distress, rescue of people, and prevention and containing the disasters such as oil spill. Each country is responsible for its own search and rescue region. In India, the Coast Guard is a coordinating agency for working of MRCC. In Sri Lanka, it is the Navy. The recent ship fires in Sri Lankan waters, this MRCC will be able to share real-time information with its Indian counterpart. Shagarpus, Sri Lanka's SRR is a swath of 17 lakh 78,000 62.24 square kilometer of Indian Ocean. Nearly 200 ships pass through these waters every day. The agreement appears to be part of India's charter, that is security and growth for all in the region initiative in the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka clarification. Establishment of MRCC is highly essential to instantly respond to the search and rescue services of the vehicle in the distress operating in the region and ensure safety of the vehicle in compliance to various international conventions. Sri Lankan Navy is the authority responsible for conducting maritime search and rescue operation from commercial ships around the islands or region. Okay, this is what the article talks about. Next article that we are moving into is related to Army's government. No confidence motion against Imran Khan does not signal deepening of democracy in Pakistan. Another Prime Minister of Pakistan is on the verge of losing office without completing his tenure. This resulted in a hybrid arrangement in which Imran Khan flaunted his proximity to the army. He was seen as doing its bidding. He was presided over an economy characterized by high inflation, sliding rupee, dwindling foreign exchange reserve, and a mounting debt burden. The relationship with India remains fraught. This attempt to forge a relationship that goes beyond Afghanistan with Biden administration have failed. He managed to alienate Saudi Arabia in 2020 and making them recall of one of their loans and end the deferred payments facility for oil imports. Things came to head last year because of Imran Khan's desire to retain the former Director General of ISI, Faiz Ahmed, against the wishes of Army Chief Qamar Javed Bajwa, who suspected Hamid of forging self-serving links with PM. Okay, next article, the continuation is Imran Khan from office gathered steam culminated into a joint confidence motion, no confidence motion against the government. The small parties allied with the government have started hobnobbing with the opposition. Imran's ouster is a government headed by PML President Shehbaz Sharif, who is more acceptable to the army than his elder brother Nawaz. This is also an attempt at image building for future political battles. He alleges a foreign conspiracy and funding to the outs him and played a letter purportedly conveying a threat from American officials in the context of his visit to Russia last month and amid raging Ukrainian crisis. Okay. Their support brought Imran Khan to the power and warned off threats from his opponent, and their neutrality has placed him on slippery slope. Owing to the army's tight control over Pakistan's foreign and security policies, the fate of a civilian leader can at best have marginal impact on Pakistan's external posture and key relationship. This is what the article talks about. Next is death of doctors foretold. Those who drove Archana Sharma to suicide must be punished, but a society that condemns daily act of coercion, injustice, violence is equally culpable. Karl Marx once said that suicide of individual is a failure of society as a whole. This tragic instance reveals many layers of the Indian society. We are a country which are turned deeply capitalist in a very short period of time. The confluence of capitalism on our daily life is not only profound but are actually stressful. The very fact that the unfortunate patient in question had to seek the treatment in a private healthcare setup is glaring example of the failure of public health system. In the absence of vibrant public healthcare system, violence and threats on doctors have significantly increased over the last couple of decades. Paying patient now demands 5-star facilities, doctors sell treatments, and patients have been reduced to a mere consumer. Absence of justice is not only the complemented by ruling class but also sense of impunity is also shown in the minds of masses. Should we surprised that a doctor who is perceived to be erred is taken to task by masses? Suicide of Payal Tadvi, a doctor from a tribal community in 2019 who lived in Mumbai. She killed herself following harassment by caste privileged seniors. In India, doctors are considered gods. This is unique. The anger of Indian patients is also therefore unique. A part of this brutality arises from the breach of trust between the god and the devotee. This exclusive relationship is dangerous. Unfortunately, most doctors do not object to being worshipped as god. It gives them innumerable privileges. But this suspicious halo makes them vulnerable when they fail as human. Suicides which happen due to the coercion and threat of violence are not truly suicide. They are murders committed by all of us. This is what the article talks about. Next article that we are moving into is related to end of illiberal liberalism. The old order is giving a new common sense is taking shape. Pampering any community and accepting its unreasonable demands actually harms the cause of that community. Instead of helping it, message emanating from the three development is about anti-pamperism. Okay, next article that we are moving into is related to Ukraine faces assault in East. Heavy flight raged on outskirts of Kyiv and other zones Thursday amid indication Kremlin is stock de-escalation as cover while regrouping, resupplying its forces and redeploying them from up offensive in the eastern Ukraine. Next article that we are moving into is related to Putin sets deadline for ruble gas payment. Russian President Vladimir Putin is demanding foreign buyers pay for Russian gas in rubles from Friday or else their supplies cut, a move European capitals rejected, which Berlin said amounted to blackmail. Germany Economy Minister Robert Habeck said Russia had not been able to divide Europe and said Western allies were determined to not be blackmailed by Russia. This is what the article is all about. Next article that we are moving into is related to why have some e-scooters been catching fire. The issues is related to such vehicles, especially batteries that power them. Electric vehicles are powered by lithium-ion batteries of the kind used in cell phones and smartwatches, which are generally considered to be efficient and light compared to the counterpart. Lithium-ion battery consists of anode, cathode, separator, electrolyte, and two separate collectors. Two current collectors. The anode cathode is where lithium is stored, while the electrolyte carries positively charged lithium ions from the anode to the cathode, vice versa through the separator. The movement of lithium ion creates a free electrons in the anode, which creates a charge at the positive current collector. Lightweight, high energy density, ability to recharge. Apart from that, lithium ion battery also typically have longer lifespan compared to the lead acid battery. However, one of the biggest benefit of lithium ion batteries, its high energy density can also be potential reason behind the batteries undoing. Okay, lithium ion batteries, its high energy density can also be a potential reason behind the batteries undoing. Next article that we are moving into is related to technical issues. Motor third party covers cover high to be delayed. That is, third party motor premium, which is mandatory for vehicles, is the only segment that is still regulated by government. Next, that's all. If you like the video, please do share, comment, like and subscribe. Thank you.